Welcome back to a new video, and surprise, surprise, I actually managed to make a sketchbook video. I know it's been a super long time, and actually I think I kind of needed the time. I love drawing in my sketchbook, but I was coming into a bit of a slump, coming off of all of the work and everything, which I'm sure everyone is tired of hearing, but it is kind of a reality that I face every year since I started working. But, yeah. It is what it is, and for now, I can, hopefully, anyway, do some more sketchbook drawing videos, which are some of my favorite. I do enjoy drawing digitally as well. I think it affords me a lot of freedom in some cases, and when I'm feeling rough, gives me the feeling that I'm not wasting a bunch of materials on a bad day, which maybe is a bit silly, but as someone who has drawn a lot on paper with pencil and pen and, you know, the usual suspects, I can get to that point where I'm just using so much paper and feeling really negatively about what's tattooed on it that won't come off. So yeah, it's a whole thing. So for this page, I started out with nothing in mind. I mean, not even a feeling, not a word, nothing. And so I just thought I'll settle down and I'll start thumbnailing something, see what comes to mind. Eventually, as I was sketching, I was thinking about a character that's in this sketchbook, and they have really choppy hair. I really like that style for some reason. Maybe the whole too much anime thing could be the culprit, I don't know. But I kind of figured that I could, you know, go with something like that, something with the choppy hair and kind of the weird vibe I had going for that character. Not that I was trying to create the exact same one, because I was not out for that, but yep, that was the plan, and that was all. And then I went about trying to figure out a pose, and I got part of it on that smaller thumbnail that you can't see very well. And then I tried something with a bit of a sitting pose, but that one's a staple for me, and I really need to get back into figure drawing so that I can put some more stuff in my my little mind closet. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we get up to this winter. So yeah, that was the idea. Just kind of a creepy dude. I did not mean to get my coffee cup in that shot, but hey, check out my coffee cup. It's probably been in a couple videos before. I'm just going about this the usual way. You can see my thumbnail there on the side, though it's not quite in focus. This was my first time filming with my room being different, so that was odd. All of my stuff is not in the right places, or I shouldn't say the right places, not in the places that it was in before. And I used to have a dresser in front of my desk, and I couldn't even open any of the drawers. So yeah, and it was old. It's an antique and been in our room for a very long time. But we switched it out for these like cube shelves, and we had some across the room that we really liked, so we did that. So I have those in front of me, and luckily I was able to kind of like slide my camera bag. I usually have it on the corner of my desk, but I was able to slide it into one of the cubbies, and that has given me some more space to play with, even though for this video I slapped my drawing bag up there, just so I could easily get the stuff out and I wouldn't have to swivel all over the place, because my bed's right behind me, and I usually just sit my laptop up there. Again, I've mentioned this before, but my desk is not large. It's just a little desk. You could maybe fit 2 laptops side by side. So that's about how big it is. And then one corner of it's like rounded, so I almost chickened out and just made a digital video. Not that I was overly stressed about this one, but more that I was pressed for time. I knew I wasn't really going to be able to use much audio because I had to stay in my house. I don't have any of my books here, like I mentioned before, and they are all on my other desk, essentially, and all over the floor in that room. So I didn't have any space to go and do a recording in a quiet place, and also didn't have the sunlight to, well, I didn't have, yeah, the sun setting sooner than later, and it posed a problem. So I wasn't going to be able to go up there and move things around in time to make a video and get it all finito, so this is what we're dealing with now, and hopefully that's okay. Been a really long time for me. Obviously, if I sidestep Inktober, doing something like this in my sketchbook, and it felt nice. I'm sure I've mentioned it loads of times before when doing the sketchbook videos, but usually when I sit down with my sketchbook, it feels really calm and normal because I used to spend every evening in it, especially my orange one, and I would just do whatever pages, play with my highlighters, whatever I wanted. I just let myself play and finish pages, and I used to do pretty often 3 to 4 pages a night that were more or less like this one. Some were more sketchy than others, but for the most part a lot like this, and a lot like the older pages that aren't ink wash. So yeah, it feels like getting back to that, which was a way more relaxing, therapeutic kind of drawing, and I'm hoping that I can finish up a lot of the design work and get back to that, because it feels really nice and it builds on my confidence a lot whenever I can actually just sit in and work at feeling comfortable just letting whatever go onto the paper. I think I kind of build up that like ease between an idea and what I can physically create on paper. So yeah, and also an understanding with myself of what it could look like and what it is not going to look like. You know, when you're a kid and you've got these like crazy cinematic ideas and you try to draw it and you're like, oh, cool, badly drawn anime girl, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, it gets rid of that, and you are kind of more aware of your skill and your style and what you're capable of. I do play with that sometimes, just kind of shake it up, and that's really nice too, but it does really, really help with that. And then when I realize what my capabilities are and I can just get into it, I feel like I can make things that are, you know, they just work a little bit better. They're more successful. And, you know, that fluctuates day to day, but just does become more consistent that way. So definitely for me, I'm someone who needs constant practice, and that's all mindset. I'm hoping that I can get this out for tomorrow. I've still had some things to do, but this video didn't feel as crazy as some of them have. But I won't be here tomorrow. I think I've ended up going to town nearly every single week at least once, which is very bizarre for me and not my favorite. But it's okay. I'll be happy when some things are kind of out of the way and I can just comfortably veg. I'm sure everyone understands with the holidays coming. I definitely enjoy just some quiet solitude. Except for when I drag my siblings in and I'm like, hey, we've got some new episodes to the animes that we've been watching. You guys need to pile in. I love that. Kind of started that tradition the first year I worked, so like nearly 3 years ago. We just started watching anime together, and it's nice. It's nice. I really enjoy it. Although now our TV is like super high up because we actually ordered a cube shelf that was roughly the size of the old one. No, it was the size of the old one. And what we got in was significantly larger, and we didn't even realize it until it was getting put together. Which is funny because I was walking by the box and I remember thinking that's more shelves than the other one, but I assumed it was on purpose. So if I had said something, that probably would have been nicer for everyone. But, you know, maybe it's just what we needed. So that's okay. I will be super, super happy if I can eventually get a shelf to put my books on, though. I miss my books. I'm one of those people that just like takes things off the shelf occasionally, and not just books with pictures, but just regular books, things I've read a billion times. I'm super into the books by Dean Koontz, the Odd Thomas series. I love those books. And actually I love them so much that I have all of them and I haven't been able to make myself read the last few because I don't want them to be over. I was reading a series when I was quite young called Levin Thumps, written by Albert Sky. I was super into those books. Really, really dug them, and to this day, I have every single book in the series, and I haven't read the very, very last book, and I've been meaning to make myself read through them all again, even though I have a fairly decent memory, and I definitely remember books. If I read something or see something, my visual memory is pretty good, and I can remember it for a really, really, really long time. So yeah, but the experience of reading them is very fun. He has a very humorous way of writing. So, yep, I pick them up sometimes and read whatever I open the page to, and I can't really explain it, but it just like puts me in the place that I was whenever I first read it, and yeah, I like it. If I need to be in a specific mood for something, if I'm writing something and I want that same feeling to just come back, I can always reread something that even I've written and get that way. Get a feeling for the writing style I was going with. Not that I'm a great writer, because I'm really not. I just enjoy it. Kind of feel the same way about drawing, where I recognize that I'm not the best of the best, but I enjoy it so much that I wouldn't stop. So, yeah. I don't really know why the eyeballs are there. It's fine. He's crazy, it's fine. I've really enjoyed the Sharpie acrylic brush marker. I thought so many times that they would have died during Inktober because I used them in almost every single picture, and both the white and the black are still going. I think the white kind of clogs up a little bit more than the black does. They're kind of a given, I guess, with white paint. But I really like them, so. And they don't bleed through my paper, which is absolutely lovely. Because obviously if I was to use regular ink, it would be bleeding all the way to the other side, which is a shame. Luckily I was able to keep all of my inks here. I have all of my inks and I have my porcelain plate, so if I need to do anything like that. And some of my brushes. Actually, some of my art supplies are still in one of my old art bags. It's like a little faux leather backpack. It's got a couple little keychains. Are they just keychains? Probably just keychains hanging off of it. It's like I have a Deadpool one. I have, someone got me, it's like a unicorn, a rainbow unicorn, and I have that on there as well. But anyway, I've got most of my art supplies actually just sitting in there that aren't in my art bag. So anyway, this is the finished picture. I hope you liked it. Here's a little close-up. His face is a little wonky, but I'm gonna forgive it. Yummy, yummy. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day or night, and bye.